Hello there, my name is Sloan, aka Artplebe, and you're watching Tragedy of Theolosion on TotalPartyKiss. Tragedy is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign set in a homebrew world inspired by Greek mythology. As a content warning, Tragedy of Theolosion frequently features rough language, violence, and sexual content. As such, viewer discretion is advised. Now let's meet our champions. Kazimir is a Minotaur Barbarian and is played by Andre Rivera. Andre is a freelance illustrator, character designer, and TTRPG performer. You can find him on Twitch and Twitter at Andre Rivera Art. Ragna is a Leonin fighter and is played by Christian McKinsey. Christian is a TTRPG content creator, a Twitch streamer, and a social worker. You can find him on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and other places on the internet at @afluffygoomba. Melaena is a variant human rogue cleric and is played by Depth Bonnie. Depth is a TTRPG player and GM, and also edits a lot of our highlight videos for TotalPartyKiss. You can find them on Twitter and TikTok at ChaoticBonnie. Bastian is a variant human wizard and is played by Sloan Smith. Sloan is a stream producer, graphic designer, and TTRPG performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at Artplebe. Finally, your dungeon master and guide through Gaian will be Serenity P. Serenity is a TTRPG lover, content creator, and voice actor. You can find her on TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram as Clickety-Clack-Snack, and on Twitter under ClickClackSnack. Once again, our content warning, Tragedy of Theolosion often contains rough language, violence, and sexual content, so viewer discretion is advised. Thank you so much for watching, and now, on with the show. No, bitch.
Did I not make it?
You did not make it.
So close. Damn.
I hit that smooth so fast.
Hi everyone. I'm rusty.
I guess I can't hide it.
Done it in a long time. We just got back and now coughing.
I guess I've just been exposed for my love of yogurt. It's fine.
My love of yogurt. There's love, and then there's eating a tub.
I gotta go make sure that.
Terry from Fox hit Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Hello? Yogurt?
Hi.
Yes, it is I.
Before we get
That's
into
obviously
any
true.
wildness and shenanigans tonight, first of all, I'm updating the mod list. Second of all, we'd like to thank Soundtail, who is going to be doing our music and vibes for the night. So thank you, Soundtail.
Thank you for the vibe.
Thank you.
A
total
I'm
party
so
kiss to
excited.
you. Soundtail.
I love that.
Serenity, now it's your turn. Go.
Penis. Hi. Hi everyone.
Just like old times.
Just like old times,
Never missing a beat.
but without the sad. Hello everyone. So welcome to shut up, Sloan. Hi, welcome to TotalPartyKiss, where we will now be playing Sloan Stop. Your reaction sending me. Okay. Hi, we're professional. This is what happens whenever we come back from any sort of break for Tragedy of Theolosion. We are all not put together, but since it's been a month, it's gonna be a goddamn mess tonight.
We're fucking Looney Tunes tonight.
Okay, but who are we from Looney Tunes? Tag yourself. I'm Porky Pig.
Nobody else has an encyclopedic knowledge of Looney Tunes except for you, Serenity.
Sloan, I'm right
Tunes
here.
alone.
You know what? My bad.
I'm the
So
rabbit
sorry.
that sims after the hot lady in the red dress.
Do you even know about Sam and Ralph? Don't talk to me.
What the fuck
Roger
are you people
Rabbit?
saying to me?
No, Sam and Ralph is,
Is that not a lady
it's about a wolf and a dog and sheep. It's weird. Anyway.
I think it's Disney.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? I swear to God, I made the intro to make this shit easier, and instead it's just this.
No, we're the problem. Don't you see?
It was me. You can't make an intro for me. I mean, you can.
I
You did.
Oh god.
Okay, hello everyone. So welcome to Tragedy of Theolosion. I would go ahead and give you an entire whole backstory of what you've missed if this is your first episode. But literally this intro sequence has been it. That has been our entire campaign.
Yeah.
If you want a wonderful, absolutely sorry, Stormcaller Animaniacs is technically Looney Tunes.
Oh
It's
my
also
God.
Brother Rabbit isn't?
No!
No! It's a fucking Disney movie! Anyway.
Is it? No, it's not.
It's not.
It is not?
Looney Tunes is your thing, Disney is mine. It is not. It
Looney
is not
Tunes is Warner
Disney.
Brothers.
Are we here to fucking litigate the difference between Looney Tunes and Disney?
I'm looking it up now.
Is that what's happening right now?
So
you know what?
what-
I'll take over. While
fine.
Serenity's doing that, hi everybody.
And Tragedy of Theolosion.
The Tragedy of Theologian, if you want to see a very quick overview, you can watch a TikTok, my newest TikTok. I just posted it. It's very bare bones. There's a lot of shit that we missed. I would also like to thank my friends Andre and Christian for really going in on, they went back and watched all past episodes and did a little write-up of it. We've forgotten
it's
so
mostly
much
Christian.
stuff.
So much stuff.
So much
Isn't
stuff.
it nice to go back and
It is
figure out
very
what you
nice.
messed up? I
There
mean,
will-
found out.
there
I
will-
mean,
There will be
Christian, are you okay?
there will be a more thorough.
I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we're back, everybody.
There will be a more thorough overview in like a week and a half.
I will be making a
Serenity?
video. Hi. I'll be making a video with the entirety. But honestly, Sloane's video is absolutely perfect. So I would go watch that. Yeah, just go watch that. I'm surprised it only has like 35 likes because Tragedy of Theologian is the most important thing in my life, and I can't believe that no one else feels the same way.
Oh, it's so rude. It's fine. Thank you,
I know.
Kate, for the link.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. Also, hi. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna give a brief recap of what happened last episode. Wow.
Fantastic.
Episode. Yes. Testing. We're here. So what happened last episode? Well, before that, we're gonna go back the other episode to the very end of the episode right before. The episode called Desert Hooters. Very important. Very important for context. Melaena got caught in the Undercity, the underground tunnels of a city called Endios, which the group happened upon in the middle of nowhere. Everyone was far too happy. Things were exceedingly expensive, and it had only been around about 10 years from people's recollection. So they knew something was fucky wucky. In short, yes it is. When Melaena goes to travel on her own to figure out what the fuck is going on, you got it. What the fuck were you spamming?
Chatting. I didn't want. I was just saying it was not necessary about talking about Melaena. Fucking
No, it's
about-
it's very necessary. Thank you, Nightbot. See you. Melaena got caught. And I'm gonna say it again because Depth specifically doesn't want me to. Melaena got caught. As she was traveling through, she found a room where she was hearing noises from the other side and saw a blood ritual that was erotic? Question mark? Hot. And then they got caught. And then we went back to this next episode, the last one. It's called Bloodlust. So feel free to watch that if you want a better recap of what happened directly before this. The group went, oh shit, our rogue's missing again, and went to go find her. They went down into the tunnels themselves, but finding a different way, meeting a blood nymph, which is very gay, I guess. Sloane says gay. who people can see they're very similar to water nymphs, but have this tainted blood. So instead of water, it's all blood. So there were many of them that they walked through and found, and a few people realized that being bit by one of the blood nymphs is a slight aphrodisiac and an addicting quality. Can be. But while they're going through, Melaena on the other side has been locked in an area only covered by 2 guards, which then becomes 1, which then is covered by the guard. The most important part of that episode, as her friends were looking oh so hard for her, Bastian went, beep beep, hello, can you hear me through message? And then she said, shut the fuck up, I'm getting laid.
Hang on. She said, I'm busy.
Getting laid, yes.
Bastian knows exactly what that means. Bastian's done the same thing.
I know what the fuck that means, bitch. I am the game.
Message also records intonation for the record. It's not like Morse code where you're just getting a transcript.
No, yeah, literally it was the fuck, shit, fuck, like all of it, that beginning part of it. Soon, the groups were brought together by the one guard that Melaena totally didn't sleep with, and found out that she was actually a champion herself. After some light, this went very, very well for them. They did very good with these blood nymphs. After some light convincing, the blood nymph went ahead and helped them figure out where they needed to go. And that was up to where a group of vampires sat. Lots of hoity-toity fucking vampires. And after a very quick fight, after they threatened the blood nymph they were with, a certain someone that was a certain suitor of a certain villain that they all know of, who had a certain portrait of himself hanging up, walked through the door, and I will go ahead and give a brief description of the room so everyone kind of knows exactly where we're at. This room is entirely made of stone. It looks like the top of a tower, so the ceilings go up to about, I believe, 60 feet. Oval in shape. The corridor is extremely long. There is 2 sets of stairs at the far end, the landing, where above are portraits of some of the vampires you have seen and other people you have no idea of. Down the walls, there are more portraits. There is a fireplace. At the end of the hallway, or where you came from, is a door with many doors in a hallway leading back down to where you were in the underground tunnels. This room is adorned to be a large dining banquet hall. The seats are now empty, and there is only the unconscious bodies of the vampires that you kicked their asses of. You guys, the blood nymph, and this man just giving you a glaze over. A brief description of the man, if you would like. He has... Sloane's like, yes! Daddy, sorry. Daddy! A very square jaw, extremely pale skin, some tautness in the cheeks with little dimples right here, with some stubble atop it, a very, very sharp, angular nose, which is a very large part of his profile, very dark eyes, and thick brows that lay low. His hair is sleeked back, very thin black hair. Doesn't look particularly messy or unsanitary, but a little greasy, more like product-wise. It lays about to his shoulders in a backwards motion. His ears rounded human-wise. He's pretty broad in build, wearing very, very not good clothing for being in the desert. He's wearing you see a white, almost, it looks extremely like something Bastian would wear. So almost like a poet shirt, undone a bit with the laces out. A red, overly decorated and embroidered vest, dark red with lighter red embroiderment. A black long coat, almost a tailcoat, above it. Very, very uncommon for this area around here. And he has leather pants, like leather padded pants. When he moves a little, you can hear like there's something underneath his clothing, in the parts that are unable to be seen. And he just looks you all over. Depth. Get his dick out of your head. I mean, or not. I can't control you. I don't know what the fuck to do anymore.
What a statement to say to somebody.
Am I wrong?
I mean, Serenity, when you say something like you can hear something moving around under his clothing as he walks, girl, the fuck?
Farmer. Fuck you.
Oh, it's Farmer? Oh.
Dick. I said under his. Well, I said under his clothes, but I was referencing up here.
Oh.
Not that long.
I thought you were still talking about the pants.
You led into it by saying his pants were padded.
You stayed at the pants.
Padded with what? Meat?
Leather. They're leather armor pants.
Got it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
On the same page. Got it. Cool.
And he's got
cool,
a huge schlong. I don't know what you want from me.
Yes.
Finally! Was that so hard?
So we won, right? You don't have to fight now?
Yes, we won the game. We won Dungeons and Dragons.
No, tragedy's over, you guys. I'm
Tragedy's
done.
over.
Thank you so much for this 5-minute episode of Tragedy Theologian.
It was great to see you guys. See you later.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Now what's he doing?
Amathelia, I just want to let you know also, Amathelia, the Bloodnith who is with you, she looks stunned, but not as scared as she was before.
That's weird. That's suspicious.
Also, should we do a little, like, description of our characters just so that new people can just know what's going on?
Yeah, if you would like to, and kind of say, like, the position you're in, I'm going to say, because it was a month ago, if you want to be like, yeah, I'm doing something cool, like holding 2 vampires, whatever, you do what you need.
Okay.
Embellish it. I don't give a fuck anymore.
I will go first. You can also see on our overlay this very cool art I made this week of all of our characters. It's very cool. So look at that, but also listen to us.
Oh, damn it. It's misplaced.
So Kazimir is an 8'2" slate gray Minotaur, 10 feet at the horns, fucking gigantic, like 700 pounds, absolute beefcake. He's got a pauldron on. He's got a big, like, blue lightning scar over his chest that, like, pulses with his heartbeat. He's got kind of like a flat top, like a blonde flat top that goes into his mane. He's wearing like a Roman pleated skirt and a loincloth underneath, or a wrap rather. And I believe last time he just knocked the daylights out of the former mob boss, who was an absolute weasel, and just slid him to the ground after knocking him out, which is the second time he's done that, so pretty cool.
Nice.
Who wants to go next?
Oh man, I should probably go next because I'm next on the
Yeah.
overlay. I can't remember where Bastian was, but I'm pretty sure he was near the back of whatever was going on. Just kind of
Normally.
as far away
That
from
checks
the
out.
action as possible. And my boy Bastian is a 5'3", tan skin, dark eyes, dark hair, and a man bun. It's very curly and luscious that goes down a little bit past his shoulders. He has a golden headband that he wears atop his head and a flowy poet's blouse that is open very far down his torso, as well as high-waisted pants that are very tight and accentuate his ass. The legs of these pants go into some very tall, maybe like knee-high, above knee-high, dark brown leather boots, and he is currently carrying a frazzled-looking peacock underneath one arm, like a little football. You carry Xerxes. You carry Xerxes like the football.
Oh, I miss Xerxes.
I feel like literally I just have to say Xerxes is just, I don't know if he's happy to be there, but boy is he there.
He certainly is present.
He sure
Certainly
is
exists.
He
here.
sure is there. Also, I do want to say before that, I was thinking when Sloan was like 5'3", I was thinking was 5'3" and really weak, and it's not wrong.
So
Am I wrong?
fucking rude.
You are correct. You are correct.
Anyway, hi.
Hey, Melaena.
My character is 5'2", which is a crime. But no, Melaena is very short, very petite, and has very pale skin. She has a smattering of freckles on her face. She has very long, light red hair that is normally like kept down, and she's normally donned in leather armor, kind of just like a kind of corset type with straps, leather that kind of falls into a makeshift skirt with kind of like leather pants. A little bit like gladiator-ish in style. Always wears like a cloak for when she do the sneaky sneak, and she always has a choker that has a little moonstone in it as a gift from her mother, who is Nyx.
And don't forget, ladies,
Boy.
she's in mourning.
He's in mourning.
What
Amazing.
the fuck? Is that from
fucking
something, or did that just
amazing.
come into your head?
Just came to me.
Fuck you.
A flash of brilliance.
Want a shirt of that.
It's fucked up enough that it sounds like it should be a TikTok sound.
I would make.
She's in mourning.
I need someone
morning.
to clip that so then Depp can put it on TikTok. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Ragna is so he stands at 6'4". He's wearing chainmail that it looks slightly used now, but very well made. And over that, it's like a customized like blacksmith smock with like little pockets where you can hold all your tools. He is a he is a black furred linen, midnight black to charcoal gray. He's missing his right eye. I have my eye patch here, but I'm too lazy to put it on right now. I might put it on in the middle of things. And he's wearing a brown bandana, like much as I am right now. I'm doing like a half-ass cosplay of him, and I love him. And I'm guessing he's standing, just like looking up at this vampire, just going, "That's the guy. That's the guy in the picture." I'm like looking up and down like this, like that's him. That's
That's a dude.
That's a man. That's in the picture.
Yeah, I forgot to say Melaena will be standing in front of Amothelia, because I'm pretty sure that's where she was standing in the last episode.
Andre, ignore what you just said because she still might be in mourning, but
I can fucking mourn at the same time.
You can mourn and bloodlet simultaneously.
well, you
Fun
really you really can't message and fuck at the same time. We've learned that.
Yeah. Accurate.
Yeah. Accurate. Yep, good. Is Bastian doing anything? I'm so sorry. Were you
Bastian was
gonna
just
add
near the
something?
back. He's just like, you
Okay.
just watch this guy step out onto a balcony, real dramatic, and is assuming that there's about to be a monologue of some kind.
Is that what Bastian would do? Because all these moves are you gonna throw Xerxes like a fucking football?
No. Is this guy just standing there, just doing nothing? Is he just chilling?
He's looking over the situation at hand, just seeing what happened before he came in.
Can we help you?
You should have really put your height in -6 feet. Jesus fucking Christ. Does anyone else want to say anything, or are we just go with that?
Nope, it's perfect.
Hey,
That's fine. That's a great start.
That's a great
No
start.
one
Love
else
it.
is saying anything, so I was like, this bitch just rocked up out of nowhere.
Fucking swing. Go for it. Go for the stands.
He's going to just look and just kind of smirk, go over to the railing, and very almost effeminately just lay his arm across and then do this and look at you. Funny, you're in my house. Want to try again?
I mean, you seemingly invited us with your very helpful tip to be here. Well, not here, but underground.
Me? Are you talking about the guy from before?
I was the guy before. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah. You can retcon that if you want.
I can wreck. I can wreck on that. Wreck on that. It's so long.
Sorry,
A long time.
could I just like ask a question of clarification?
Absolutely.
Last episode, when we were talking to the seemingly like head vampire guy at the table, he said that he was now in charge and that they'd kicked the guy that we're talking to out. Yes?
Said he was gone, but
He was
he
gone.
was placeholding.
We thought you were on vacation. Did you just get back just now?
Oh no, I've been back for how long? 45 minutes, something like that.
Okay, but that you just
I-
got back.
Well, not just. I mean, I was waiting in that room for quite a while. I was going to surprise everyone. Turns out I'm the one who's surprised.
How awkward. Your previous business associate, I guess, the one who's currently dripping down the wall,
Kazimir just holds up the body.
he said that he was in charge.
We'll see. I left everyone in charge. All of them, and obviously, they did not do a very good job. And he will stand up and begin to go down the steps. At this point, you do see he does have a little cape connected to the back. It's not itty bitty, but it's a very thin cape on the back of his coat. That's kind of swaying as he's walking down.
Oh my god. Sorry, I just looked at how many spells I had.
Holy shit! Did you know that you were playing a wizard? You get so many spells.
Oh, no, it's the opposite. It's the opposite reason.
What did you do?
I don't have a lot of spells left, bud.
Oh, okay, that one.
Yeah.
I am gonna cast a little mage armor on myself.
He walks down the steps. You hear his feet echoing in the chamber as he walks down, and he walks directly to the head of the table. Kind of just brushes it off with like a table napkin, just pulls it off, brushes it off. And he goes and takes a seat, but as he goes to sit gracefully, he turns, and both of his feet go over the other armrest. And he's sitting very picturesque, and he's like, "We'll sit. It's very rude for you to stand."
What a suave bitch.
Fine.
I love him as Andre. I love him.
I hate him.
I'm just gonna glance at Amethelia. What's her reaction to all of this?
Her face is a little relieved, but she's still tense.
Melaena will probably slowly go and sit down.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Word. Amethelia will
Word.
follow and sit beside Melaena. On whichever side.
And this is like a long dining table, right?
It's a long dining table. There's about 20 seats. And he picks the furthest one, the head of the household, the largest chair.
Mm.
Very gaudy, very cushy.
Do you entertain often? Bastian will just give a long look down the entirety of the table.
I'd like to. But when you have the same company over and over and over, it just gets stale.
Maybe you should expand your friend group.
He looks you once over and goes, "Maybe."
Bastian just makes him just squints his eyes just a little bit.
Xerxes does the same thing. Supportive
You ever see a
bitch
peacock
bird.
Double spiteful glances.
What a tribe. I think Ragna, like, slow, like in the at the number 10 seat. If there are 20 chairs, I think he sits in the middle.
Closer, sit closer. I promise. I won't bite. I wouldn't say I don't, because I do. But I won't.
What's this bitch's name again?
I'm gonna roll an insight check on that. Oh, I get bit.
Feel free to roll, and his name is Foryuen.
Foryuen, that's right. Foryuen the Forgotten.
Foryuen.
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 Like for you.
Page.
Foryuen. Got it.
Foryuen. Foryuen. I'd let you hit it for free. Foryuen.
I love how the DM is making fun of their own name of an NPC.
I am. The names I fucking have like ruined for my DMs. I gotta get some back.
Gotta get some. It's a 19 insight from me.
He looks like he is telling the truth. He does bite, but he will not.
I think Ragna will go. He'll do that thing where you're like half sitting, consider it, get up, and then move to the number 5 seat.
You could see the way he's sitting. He's not like in a pose where he's defenseless, but he's definitely not on the prowl for an attack. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
These are
Kinda let his
vampires.
guard
These
down.
bitches can move fast. Or is that just Twilight?
Can teleport with bats.
I'm
and
not
shit.
telling you if I'm using Twilight rules in my game or not.
Coward.
So that's a yes.
Kazimir, where the hell have you been, Loka?
I literally want to die. Why? The fuck?
As if you could ever me.
Kaz
As if you could find me up. I'm sorry, Andre. I'm sorry.
Do you guys want to know that we're 40 minutes in and we've only got like literally
You're a
two,
nightmare. I'm so
30
sorry.
seconds back?
We're doing
I
so
love
good.
Kazimir goes over to the table, like, I don't think he could fit in one of the chairs, so he's just gonna lean up against the table wherever Ragna is on whatever side of the table.
You're very large. Would you prefer a stool? Or, I mean, I would give you my chair, but it's extremely comfortable.
Sure.
He'll look to Amalthelia and just kind of go. It's a very nice look. It's not demanding. It's not rude. He just goes. And she'll quickly stand up. She'll go find a stool. It's actually an end table because this actual stool won't fit him. She goes and gets an end table. Hey, he grabs it with one hand. It's terrifying. We love this man.
Consider me scared and horny.
Sometimes you forget how big Kazimir is, and then he just like one hand grips something that would take you like your entire arm sort of breadth to fucking.
Honestly, every time it's the Andre the Giant video where he's like, look at the size of his hand, and then
Just...
yeah.
And then Kazimir will sit on the end table as if it were a seat.
Were you hungry? I don't have much for food you would desire, but I can whip something up.
Well, considering the fact that I think we did have dinner, attempted to go to sleep, woke up because Melaena was in the fucking pits, and then got up. I don't know if we would be. I mean, how early is it? Is it
I know
like
Melena's hungry.
Hey,
Melena's not saying shit. She's just sitting there.
Yeah, you know, and in hindsight, I don't think that this would be a good situation to eat in, so probably...
I'm okay.
No food? How about wine? I have white wine, don't worry. It's not gonna be weird.
What kind of wine do you have?
He's gonna not even move his head, but just move his eyes towards you and go, what kind of wine do you like?
You strike me as someone who would potentially have a pretty good wine collection.
I don't have a pretty good wine collection. I have the best wine collection.
Fuck.
And he's going to stand up. You see he doesn't even use his hands. He just does a little forward motion, and then he just gracefully pulls himself straight up to stand. And will walk to the area that's behind, or under the landing, the wall behind. And you see him pull out a little key. He unlocks a little door, and you hear this sort of just like really odd mechanical system. It sounds like a really old wheel against some like wire, or not wire, but almost like metal grates to like keep it in a certain area, little tracks. He pushes both of the doors open, and from one side of the room to the other side of the room, under the stairs, there is just a wall of wine.
Oh no.
Bastian
Oh, don't do
openly
it.
weeps.
Oh, don't do it.
Bastian openly
I'll
just
do it.
cries.
I think that even Bastian, with his excellent poker face, just like seeing this cornucopia, if you will,
It's cavalcade.
this cavalcade
This menagerie.
of sweet fruits, will just, his eyes will widen and his mouth will fall slightly open in shock, and then quickly regains his composure and is going to send a message to Melaena that says, if we kill him, we're stealing his wine. And if we don't kill him, we'll still give it a shot. And he's...
Melaena literally like coughs to try and cover up the laugh that she's so desperately trying not to laugh, so she's like and she does not in response.
I would like to stand up to go survey this man's collection.
Yeah, absolutely. He will give you a light pour. As you walk up, he kind of gives a knowing look and goes, I'm sure you know what most of these are, so no
Yes.
worries. But the nice ones. And he goes ahead and you see not what causes it, but just a like small wave of the hand. And you hear it, ching! And he opens one of the stalls that holds an assortment of wine. And then you see kegs and barrels and things that look like they haven't been touched in a millennia.
Oh, fuck.
And you see him pull a wine, or just a bottle, just this black bottle that looks to be just lightly covered in dust. And he'll just gently blow on it, seductively, and wipe away the name of it. And then just wipe the name away on it. And then wipe the year. It's double digits. And he'll just show you. Would you like to partake?
I suppose it will do.
He will give you the biggest shit-eating grin. And you can see the fangs that rest in his mouth. And he just gives just a chuckle and just goes, well then, after you. I must close up. There was an exit here at some point. After you. I forgot the exit. I was getting seduced by a hot man that I created myself.
You created yourself.
Are you self-simping?
Self-simping? Over your own imagination?
That's what I do all the time.
Oh, God. Listen. I'm gonna take that bottle of wine and cradle it.
Oh, he's not handing it to you.
Oh, he won't? Okay, that's fine. Then I will...
He's holding it.
Then I will sashay out and glance longingly at the other bottles as I weave my way out of his wine cabinet.
So when Bastian sent that message, was that as in let's try now or let's try later? Because Melaena probably would have stood up and tried to steal something then if...
I mean, what would she think he meant?
Though. If you're not there at the table, that's immediately suspicious.
Oh, basically.
Yeah, it's two people. Melena's not going to try it yet.
Okay, cool. Then
Too easy to keep focus on two people.
Mm-hmm. Then he'll sashay out.
Sashay. Oh, wait.
I love you all. Whoever is watching the two, make a perception check.
He's looking at my ass.
Totally. I'm just trying to see if anyone notices.
Perception.
18.
18 as well.
22.
Oh yeah. It is not slight. If you rolled a 3, I would have told you. I just wanted you to roll because I missed you all.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
What a-
amazing.
what
I
a
just wanted you
courtesy.
to roll something.
Thank you.
That's amazing. I love that.
So as these all come together, he closes the back part and the doors. You hear a little lock, and then the key is no more. You can't see it.
It's fine.
He will bring the bottle over, and then he will normally what would a wine opening, cork opening, whatever kind of tool would be used. You see two of his fingers become very sharp and his nails expand. He'll just poke into the cork, twist, pull it himself. And immediately, almost anyone who's right next to the head of the table can smell this sweet aroma. It smells like it does smell like a red wine. But it is almost, and this is all metaphorical, don't be scared. But as like the smells pour out and begin to kind of just linger like a fog, as everyone at the table can begin to smell probably the best wine you've ever smelled in your life. If you prefer like a kind of a sweet.
Holy fuck.
I'm just waiting for Bastian to just start tearing up.
You've spent enough time with him, Ragna, and you're also insightful enough that this is probably the closest you've ever seen Bastian to, like, tears. Which is, to anyone else, it would not be noticeable, but he just has just a little bit of, like, his nostrils flared just a little, and he just looking straight at that wine bottle. Just a little lip quiver, just a...
Oh my god.
I think Kazimir's been pretty, like, stone-faced this whole time, but I think when the aroma hits his nostrils, he's gonna, like, breathe it in and then just, like, almost, like, shake his head a little bit as he tries to, like, recenter his mind, and he gives, like, a little snort just to, like, flush it out of his system, trying not to, like, take it in.
So you see he kind of just holds it up as he walks over to where the glasses are, kind of just parading the smell. The glasses are right behind Bastian, so just kind of hitting a little harder. He grabs glasses. Actually, he grabs goblets, because he begins to grab glasses. He sees the size of Kazimir's hands and Ragna's larger, meaty hands, and goes, no. And then grabs goblets.
Big, meaty paws.
What?
Big, meaty
No,
paws.
I heard you. That was not the problem.
I think Ragna, throughout all this, has just been watching the simp fest for wine happen.
Honestly, I think my favorite thing is that everyone's been sipping over the wine more than the man.
Man, hey,
Good wine's hard to come by around.
good hard to come by. Yeah, this is ancient Greek.
I've been sipping on alchemy jug wine that's just so.
You know for a fact that's like fucking boxed wine.
Yeah, it's like
it
like
tastes like
margarita mix.
wine that they like over spice to make up for the fact that the actual wine is terrible, which actually kind of makes it a little good.
I am going to make a reference, but no one will understand it.
Try.
I was just going to say, so it's just like $10 goon.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know. I don't even recognize
yeah,
that
that's
as understandable. So
Goon here in Australia is very cheap, shitty boxed wine.
Is it like Goon?
Yeah.
I'd buy it. I know for a fact I'd try it.
Yeah. Ragnar just goes, you're the ruler of this city?
I am. I have been the head of it for quite some time.
Then, can I ask a question?
I mean, you already did, but go ahead again.
Why, if you're the leader, then why is the city looking for vampires? Like it's a crime.
He's just gonna look at you and just smile and go, think about it a little harder.
Honestly, I come from a refugee city, so we accept everybody, so it's gonna be a little rough.
You should be checking for vampires then. And he begins to pour, but you see that he's taking a little bit from each part to make it very apparent that this is a peaceful wine offering, that there's nothing mixed in, anything like that. Well, for starters, I don't want any vampires I don't know seeking refuge here. There are many bad ones out there. And second of all, what better way to think there are no vampires here than to check for vampires?
So you just keep the people here sort of in the dark, / give them a false sense of security, and that way nobody questions why their leaders never go outside during the day without
go
the
outside
covering
during the
over their
day.
town.
Oh, the covering's always been there.
For 10 years.
Sure, 10 years. And he will begin to
All right.
hand the goblets out himself. They all come here on their own volition. For those who don't seek certain refuge, is why we check. But for those who choose to stay, most of the time, they already knew what kind of city this was. And if they
What?
didn't... What do you mean? What?
Why would anyone come to a place to be cattle?
Oh, it's not cattle. Have you... he's gonna look over and, give me a second. I'm gonna roll first dice of the night.
Ooh.
Whoa. Gonna look over to Melaena.
Oh.
She certainly has. Felt the bite and understands that it is a give and a take.
I've been...
I mean, everyone you met up there is extremely happy to be here. They get to do business as they want. Little to no taxes. Everything is taken care of. I mean, we're a moving city. Very interesting.
You're a moving city?
Oh, you haven't found out everything, have you? This is fun. And he finishes handing out the wine. He goes, first, a toast. And he'll lift his own goblet as he stands at the head of the table. To you cleaning up my mess for me.
Here, here.
Cheers.
Does he have the X's in his eyes or no?
Let me take a look
Go
in those
ahead and make a
peepers.
check. Jeepers creepers.
I was gonna do that and then I forgot because I have a ditch to... What kind of check is this?
I would say investigation or insight, depending on what you want to do.
Investigation.
I got a 3.
18.
What?
I got a 3. Kashimir's too suspicious of the wine.
17.
I got my lowest roll ever, 7.
I love that that's your lowest roll ever. Fuck you. No.
It's because I rolled a 1, so.
Oh, okay, bet. None of you see it.
What?
Out
I
of
rolled an
17?
18.
No, there is none.
Oh.
hiding its eyes the entire time.
Shit!
It's like, am I pull up? I'm
Is
blind.
this bitch wearing
Hello?
sunglasses?
He's very broody, and he has very like dark eyes. But
Yeah, exactly.
no, that's Nicolas Cage, and I need you to put that away.
Fuck. So he doesn't have any X's in his eyes.
He does not. It's very hard to see the separation of like what would be his pupil. Like honestly, his eyes just black.
Damn.
Like he's got like Scalia eye contacts, kind of black, like they're like completely.
But yeah, but like real.
yeah, well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Melena's gonna speak up. Since, as you put it, we cleaned up your mess, maybe you can answer a few of our questions.
Well, obviously, I've been answering them so far. Go ahead. And you see as he slips back to the way he was sitting before, just as gracefully, with his wine almost like steady, his arms steady, as he goes back into his like lazy position and just takes a sip of his wine.
How well do you know the Viper Queen?
Yeah, he's looking at his wine, about to take a drink, and then looks at you. Quite fondly. Quite fondly. And he takes a sip.
Do you know where she got those yellow X's in her eyes from?
No, I don't. I've always kind of known her like that. Haven't known her for as long as a vampire would know someone. Not an entire lifetime, but a few years.
Is she responsible for the other people in this town with yellow X's in their eyes?
If that's something she could do, she's never told me. I've never seen her cause it.
Do they just show up on these people?
I don't pay attention to the people here. I only have my certain assortment of favored people, you should say. And don't truly pay attention.
When did you start fondly knowing her?
He's just gonna give you a smirk. About 5 years ago.
Christian, did you intend for what you said to be heard? Because you're
5 years,
muted.
goddamn. I said 5 years, goddamn, but I didn't say it
Oh,
on
okay.
mic.
I didn't know
5 years,
you.
goddamn.
I knew her then. I didn't realize what she truly meant to me till about a year ago.
And what does she truly mean to you?
Everything. Totally and absolutely everything.
Right. Right.
You haven't lived as long as I have without people who show up once in a while. That truly means something. And I have to cherish them.
And is it her personality? Is it her ass?
Great in bed.
You can continue to say things. All of these have been correct so far.
Fair enough.
Do you know if she's working for anyone?
She's a woman who works for no one.
How about worship?
No. Medusas don't particularly enjoy the gods.
Can...
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, go.
Okay. You,
are aware of the other suitors, yes?
Of course. I mean, I have my own as well.
Are there suitors for you?
Well, yes. I mean,
Come on, non-monogamy.
I mean, even though she means the world to me, she understands I have my own limitations, and as does she. And if she ever does choose me, and only me, she knows I couldn't do the same.
Do we know, out of character, how long ago the Viper Queen's sort of reign of terror began, / her plans to conquer the fucking continent or whatever she's doing?
Not really. The earliest thing you have would be timelined either by knowing when Finley's switch happened, which was a couple years ago, and knowing that he's known her for 5 years.
Because Finley's currently 18?
20.
20?
20.
So,
They were
she...
They were putting the coffin like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But she
Year and a
doesn't
half
have
ago.
memories before her being 16, which is
Beyond
when she
16, yeah.
turned
Yes.
into a Medusa.
So that's
Yeah, when she got
4.
So that's 4
So that's
years.
4.
All right, then I'm gonna ask this guy. When you met the Viper Queen, was she already sort of on the warpath and looking to conquer the entire continent, or is that sort of a new development in your relationship, or in the time you've known her?
That's a good question. I mean, she's always seemed to have a goal on her mind to make herself important. More important than I keep telling her how important she truly is, but she won't listen to me. But she wants more and more and more, and she's always been that way since I've known her, so... Not specifically. I mean, when I knew her 5 years ago, she knew she wanted power and was creating ways to do so. And before that, I have no idea.
Are you familiar with the symbol of Hyperion?
I was here when Hyperion was here. Of course I am.
So
This
you would
bastard's
know
old
if-
as fuck.
Fuck. So you would know if she would be consorting with Hyperion.
Talk to. He doesn't talk to much people, from what I've heard. I mean, the religion has been off and on. So, I'll be plausible, but I haven't seen any symbolism.
Just to help me recall, the reason that we were going to Helsinki in the first place is because we had heard that there was a concentration of prayers in this general area for help, and also Finley said that her mom, the Viper Queen, was terrorizing that area.
Yes.
It was that and a combination of Ragna knowing that Vontus had been sent down towards that area to try to fight whatever was down there and to try to take as many refugees back home with them as possible.
So we do know that they're causing trouble.
Mhm.
We just don't know if they're the final trouble. But it sounds like they're the final trouble if they're leading the cause and turning people into Medusa. So
Yeah. But the Medusa stuff came from the brain worm, right? Brain snakes?
brain snakes, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
People changing?
yeah.
Yeah.
We figured out that the golden X's were not necessarily connected to the brain snakes.
Yes.
But the brain snakes are what are turning people into Medusa.
Yes.
So, If
And we
Finn
know
was
that the
infected
yellow
with the...
X's. We know that the yellow X's mean that they're being controlled by the Viper Queen or by someone else.
Yeah, we're unsure as to what that is.
But we probably don't suspect the Viper Queen because Ragna saw those X's and a chimera before the adventure began.
Way far away, yeah.
Way far away.
Okay. So, I guess...
I think I want Ragna to... Ragna's going to ask, do you know how she's growing her forces to take over the region? How she's doing it?
She's very good with her words and other things. It's very easy for people to
Fucking no way.
want to help her, as you could say.
And those who don't want to help her? How does she get
either
them to?
ignores or destroys. I mean, they're either not worth anything to her, or she sees them as a threat.
So you know that she's putting snakes in people's brains.
I do. But overall, it's not as bad as you might think.
Changing people against their will?
Vampires? Just generally vampires? She's working on a way to help them gain control of themselves. Most of the people that are out there right now are just simple. They have no way to connect back to who they were. But she is trying to create a way to where everyone can be themselves. Well, what they could be. And a Medusa at the same time. Drink your wine, drink your wine. This is very confusing. It definitely eases up the brain.
I don't drink. And he just pushes his wine forward.
I'll take it.
But if consent is so important to you, shouldn't this be a giant red flag of, oh, this is wrong? Maybe I should look into this or something like that?
If you've lived as long as I have, right and wrong are very morally grey. And there can be very wrong things to do the right thing. There can be very wrong ways to do the right thing. And very right ways to do the wrong thing. Do I think everything she's doing is perfect? No. Do I think her general end goal is good? Hopefully.
Do you know what her general end goal is?
She won't tell me.
So...
I know.
You're just taking it sort of... It's just a... I don't know exactly what she's doing, but I'm sure it's fine. The fact that she's turning people into Medusa against their will is fine. I'm sure it's for a good cause that I don't know.
Do you know why I'm called what I'm called?
I assumed it was because you were often absent from your house.
You're not wrong. I do enjoy a good holiday. But good things don't put you on the map. Forgotten. I'm forgotten.
Because you're a cool guy?
Did that? How? How do
He's a Chad. He's a Chad. He's a Chad. I'm a nice guy.
I'm forgotten because
finish last.
I'm a... That's exactly what it is. I'm forgotten because I do too many good things.
I'm generally hoping that her lead could end very bad ones that are happening. Things that could be, what's a good word for it? Disastrous. It could be disastrous. And as he looks over you, I'm assuming the last suitor, I could have a lot more say in what's happening and how things need to happen.
Things
Having
born
one
out of death
person-
and just
Go ahead.
things born out of death and destruction aren't normally prosperous.
Ah, here I am. Not wrong.
But you think that if the Viper Queen does it, it'll be successful?
I'm thinking that the people she could get out of their offices and out of their high positions, I think her doing those things could lead to a very bright future. I mean, after all, Marinid and Sayuthin are continuously in war. There's going to be one day when they finally just decide to say, fuck it, and go in an all-out war and kill millions. Because one side has so much control that they think that they own everything, while the other side is so crazy and drugged up that they'll do whatever the hell they want. But you think that's good?
Which side is which?
Scythen's the law and order. I feel like Bastian's going through a lot of emotions right now.
From his experience,
have-
he's like, okay, which one's the money side and which one's the drug side? Because I'm confused.
I mean, have you not
They're
been
both the same
reading-
picture.
These are the same picture.
These are the same
Have you
picture.
not been reading anything that they write? Have you not been listening?
Unfortunately, I've been quite far removed from any locations that would provide me with up-to-date news of the world.
That's sad for you, isn't it?
Yes,
Anyway. Out of character.
obviously.
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 That was really good, Andre. If you've read any papers at all, you would see that Scythen is looking to bring the will of the 12 Olympian gods, which to them means that they're perfect and they'll be fine, while they bring the fire of justice and glory to everyone else. While Marinid, their army doesn't know that drinking isn't something they do on the job. And guess what? All those other frivolous drugs paid by your city. Isn't that peculiar? That those places can be talked about as good when they're just as evil, if not more. The moment war explodes between the two, very few citizens are going to come out of this alive.
That still does not excuse what the Viper Queen is doing. Ripping families apart, destroying them, taking away their free will. That is not a free pass to do what you want.
That sounds exactly like what every other city's doing. You know that city up in the country, starts with an F. Veltios. They can barely feed their own people. They've taken in so many broken families and left behind others because it wasn't safe for them to stay. They just left people behind, unassuredly. You really think that they're much better than I am? They're building what is it, second, third, fourth wall, whatever number it is. They're going to keep expanding and expanding until the entire continent is walls within walls within walls. That's not going to save anyone. That's going to make anyone on the outside walls more susceptible to everything that's happening. The people on the inside, those with lots of money and lots of goal, they'll be bright and happy on the inside, not having to deal with a singular war, because there are 25 walls covering the entirety of their area, while all the refugees die. I'm not saying I'm the best, and I'm definitely not saying that the Viper Queen does anything to win any sort of medal or prize. But isn't a life with your family, even if you're changed, so much better than a life where you're torn apart by war? It's a slow road, but I'm hoping it will end some heartbreak. He takes a sip of his wine.
I mean, I suppose it might be. If they could remember who they were before, if they could remember that they had a family.
And that's exactly what I know she's going to try to do. And I'm going to make sure she does it.
Is she actually going to try to do that, or is she just tricking you?
That's why I'm going to be there. I could make vampire spawns who have no recollection of who they were. But everyone who's changed is changed for the better. Whether it's a sickness that could have ended their life prematurely, or a war, anything like that. Even the people who end up getting it and then don't want it, I can remove. It's removing everything else. But I can make sure that they can at least try to live a life.
You know what? It's pretty late, and I'm very tired. Is there lodging around here so we don't have to walk back to the hotel?
I suppose, if you wish to stay in my abode. However, the way you've been unsure about my motives, I might have to sleep with one eye open. Just kidding, I don't sleep. And he'll stand up.
Is there going to be dust on the beds? Have they also been alive for a very long time? Or...
Have the beds
Are the beds
been alive?
Did you just ask if the beds were alive?
It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke.
The bed comes out and is like...
It's a
like,
joke.
Like a fucking
We've
episode
been
of
waiting for a
Pee-wee's Playhouse
princess to
is
save the king. It's like a fucking mimic. Oh.
I was making a very funny joke. And none of you appreciate my sense of humor.
I'm just dunking on you, don't worry.
Bastian was just attempting to dunk on this guy, just being like, are they dusty? Are they old? Just like you, and how old you are, old man.
I want you to know, even though I don't sleep, beds are used very heavily. Come along.
And I hope they do the linens at least once a week.
At least.
At least.
At least.
This is medieval times, to be
Listen, it's the desert, bitch. How much water do they
Yeah, let me
have?
take
What are
my
they gonna do?
drinking
Give the
water
sheets a
and clean
dust
this
bath?
linen. Like a fucking chinchilla?
Like a fucking chinchilla. Throw it out in the sand, give little scrubums. 100% cool.
They, okay, 100% canon now, they have cleaning chinchillas. Where they put them out in the desert and then they just start to like
Fantastic.
clean.
Oh,
Is that like the equivalent of like putting a little like dryer sheet in? It just keeps going.
Yeah, no, it does all the work.
Yeah.
They're very well compensated in treats.
Amazing.
But they're very large chinchillas.
Take that,
You can get a whole load
Flintstones.
done at
Fuck
once.
yeah.
Dire chinchilla. Cool.
dire
dire
chinchilla.
I'm so excited to make this. I'm so excited.
Can you believe that chinchillas are a fucking desert animal? Like, if they get water on them, they fucking die. You believe that shit? Wild.
They really?
Yeah, you can't give them
Yeah, they live
baths
in
or they'll
the- they live in
drown.
the deserts of South America. Yeah.
I've never seen a chinchilla in my life.
No, yeah, if you
They're-
like
they're
try to
not
give them a
native here.
bath in water,
Okay, hold
they'll
up.
fucking
Chinchilla
drown.
time.
I'm pretty sure they're also illegal here.
Really?
Really?
They're pretty common like exotic pets here.
Are they invasive?
Either I think chinchillas and hamsters are illegal here.
Hamsters?
Really? Hamsters?
We interrupt this broadcast for a very, very important PSA.
There's a fucking picture of a chinchilla. Enjoy.
He's so
It's a wonderful
angry.
time. He's very angry.
So angry.
So cute.
Death, I feel so bad for you if you've never felt a chinchilla. They're the softest. They're like,
so soft.
They
they-
can be really
Can I hold
angry
one
though.
in August?
I mean, if we could find a
Does
friend who
anyone own
has a
one?
chinchilla.
I don't know anyone
like
who
a
has a
fucking
chinchilla,
PetSmart.
unfortunately.
We could, yeah, we could probably take you to like a
Hi,
pet
if
co
you're
or
in
some
the East
shit.
Coast in August and you have a chinchilla, please call me right now.
You know, right now,
Call me on
Megan,
Thursday when I'm free.
Chinchilla.
Kate's gonna go buy a chinchilla.
Do
Straight
you have
up.
like pet shops that you can hold the animals in?
Yes.
Do we have
can
what?
pet shops.
I thought you said ketchup, and I was. I was just like, excuse
You
me.
don't have ketchup here.
You
It's
can't
funny
put
thought.
water on a chinchilla, but you can douse it in ketchup.
Isn't that a desert food?
Yeah, 100%. Desert tomatoes, dog. Hell yeah. Okay.
Pretty sure that's a
so,
Okay, anyway.
Anyway.
Chinchillas! Yeah,
We
there are
gotta
dire
change our
chinchillas
room.
here now.
Maybe we should go back to the hotel.
I think that is what they
Let's just go back to the hotel.
Honestly, I don't feel comfortable with everything you've told me. With you going off, and then what am I supposed to expect? I mean,
Well, first you weren't comfortable with us sleeping here, and now you're not comfortable with us sleeping somewhere else? Or are we just not allowed to sleep anymore?
uncomfortable. Maybe. I don't know. He kind of smirks at you.
Then.
Fuck this guy. He's hot.
What did you say, Deb?
I said, Melaena just speaks up. Are we prisoners then?
I'd say guest of honors. Because I'm going to make sure you're very well taken care of. But to be honest, until we work this little thing out, I don't feel quite comfortable with you leaving. You know. I'll make sure you have wonderful beds.
Prisoners.
Considering the fact that when you left your crew here, they ran amok.
Oh, I don't feel great about that either. I was actually coming to take care of that. And you did it for me. So, I'm very happy about that. So, I do need to reward you. And these beds are much better than what you'll sleep in down there. And I
Well,
will
we
make
have
sure
you know
you're
that
left
we all
alone.
sleep together.
I have a very large room. With a very large bed.
Melaena looks a little disappointed.
I think
Tiniest, immeasurably disappointed.
And don't worry, I know you will fit. I fit at least 15 people on there before. You're fine. And and he
Actually,
will
pretty impressive.
look at the wine bottle, and then he'll hand it to Bastian. Take it as a keepsake. By the way, you want to?
They're a villain, remember, they're a villain.
you want to know something so funny about this wine?
What?
I made it myself in that year. Special to me. Drink it well.
Oh wait, no. Fuck. Melaena can't sleep in the same bed.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh no! Well, you made your bed and now you're gonna kill in it, so.
Shit.
I love
I can't even ask for handcuffs without it sounding saucy.
I mean, depends on who you ask. If you ask Bastian, saucy. If you ask Foryuen, saucy. If you ask Amathelia, extra saucy.
Anyway, let's
by the
go.
way, she is going with you. But she is definitely not as lingering as closely as she was before. That little eyebrow raise was my favorite thing. I'm so sorry. I was so enthralled by that. I'm like, oh, gay.
So, are we walking towards another location?
So he's leading you up the stairs where he came from. And back to the door where he made his grand entrance. There is a small hallway that has a couple doors. The one on the left, it looks like it's some sort of library. The one on the right, he will introduce, he'll open the door, he'll talk lightly about it. And this is the library. If you feel like you can't sleep and don't want to do anything else, well, I suppose you can read. And then he'll go over to the door on the right that's a little bit further down. And he'll open it, and it looks like a study. He'll be like, and this is where I'll be staying. So if anyone gets lonely in the middle of the night, he glances over at Bastian, you'll know where I'll be. And then he'll go to the end of the room and open this door. So Bastian's made from money. This is a money room. So this is palace size. So this is a extremely large room, covered in just this beautiful like rug, like an entirety of like almost a 30-foot room by 30-foot room has one rug. Right in the back middle part of the wall is a canopy bed that looks like it could fit 4 Kazimirs in it. It's huge. On the left side of the room, there is a wardrobe that goes from one end of the room all the way to the other end of the room. And you can see there are mirrors along some of it, like the middle part. On the right side, you see a beautiful, almost like, you know, like those like very Victorian, almost like a pointed windows that are rounded, like with a point at the top. Large window, no balcony, but it does have a little railing. So if you open the window, you can lean out just a tad. But when you look, it is the very tip of this entire city, the very top, where the canopy meets about 200 feet up. From the base, it's about 50 feet from where you are right now. But you do see that the window itself does look like it is locked and almost rusted shut and then painted over. Like he hasn't
the
gone out in a
landlord
long
special.
time. Landlord special. It's very beautifully painted, but no, landlord special. There are tapestries all over the walls. There's a vanity. Literally anything you could think of in this room that a rich person would have, he probably has it.
And this is the bedroom, yeah?
Yes. When you look at the bed itself, it looks like it's this beautiful red satin bed cover. There are so many goddamn pillows. So fucking many. I suppose you will fit.
He's still here?
Oh yeah, he's showing you
Oh,
We just got here.
I'm sorry. I thought I left.
Are you still here? Leave! Get out of your room!
I'm sorry. Are you still here?
Did you say that?
No.
Good save.
It's all safe. You win.
I suppose you can all fit. And he's gonna look over and down to the blood nymph. Go. So, did you want to stay as well? I mean, don't have to. And she just kind of looks to Melaena. Looks back over. If they want me, I will be here. He just kind of smirks and goes, "You've always been a very good girl." And he'll just walk out of the room.
All right.
Anyway.
Breathe, Depp. Breathe.
I can't tell if the good girl was the thing or if Death was like, yeah, she is.
Barth.
You nasty wenches.
Says you
After-
sipping the wine.
After he leaves, Melaena is going to turn to Amathelia. Is there anywhere else I can sleep?
I don't think so. This is the only bed I know of. I mean, I'm sure I can maybe drag the large chair. I can get the big chair from the
It's
other
fine.
room.
It's fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you embarrassed? You're not ugly when you sleep. You were knocked out for quite some time.
It's fine. It's just... Anyway. She's just gonna turn to the others.
Amathelia, what's the
That-
likelihood that he can hear us right now?
He's gonna go to the door that's closed, open it. He's not there. She'll close the door. I'd say about a 30% chance. That is not the right tone. About a 30% chance.
Alright, well, we'll talk in whispers. Anybody want to get under the covers?
Why did you say it like that?
I'm trying to bring some levity to the situation. Also, I'm a little tipsy. It's very strong wine. And I've had
It's so
2
strong.
glasses.
Is there like a closet?
There's an entire wardrobe.
Okay.
Can we all fit into the closet?
No.
Kazimir can fit in the closet. You guys could.
Oh, damn it. Alright. Well, we need to talk. That's why I wanted to get us somewhere else so we can talk.
Oh, I said he could fit. Yeah.
Oh, he can? With all of
They're
us?
Yeah.
big.
Well, that wasn't the purpose that Melaena was looking for the portrait, but sure.
Are you gonna fuck in the closet?
They're probably about 7 foot tall, pretty wide, so he may have to scooch. in
Yeah,
kind
I'll
of.
just crouch.
Now Melena's like,
don't-
is there a closet? And Bastian's like, brilliant. Yes, let's get in there.
Were you gonna sleep in the closet?
Maybe. No,
Melaina, we can take watches. It's just like watching for anything else. Except this time it's in a bedroom with you.
I'm usually a little bit more distant when... It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
It's fine.
I'm so paranoid.
Did you want me to not be here? I can go elsewhere.
I just... I don't know why I put this without hurting her feelings.
You stink. Go.
Get
Get on, get. I just...
get on get. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
It's I think we just need to talk amongst ourselves for a short while.
Okay. I will be in the somewhere. I don't know. I'll just go back. And she'll just kind of awkwardly sneak herself out of the room and shut the door.
Shall we get in the closet?
What for?
To make us less noticeable so that we won't be heard.
Sure.
Perfect. Kazimir, you go in first.
I cast... Wait, hang on.
Get in the closet, Kazimir.
I cast prestidigitation to create soft musical notes around the door, so if anyone were listening, they would just hear the music.
That totally works. It's just some soft music.
As long as we don't speak too loudly, they shouldn't hear us over the music.
Perfect. Okay. What are we doing?
Well, we are currently at the top of this tower and seemingly trapped.
No, I understand literally what we're doing right now. I just mean, what are we going to do?
None of this makes sense.
I don't know, I thought, actually, my whole problem right now is he made a couple of pretty decent points.
That's a concerning part. That's what doesn't make sense, is that he's making sense. If people are praying and the gods want us to stop these people...
That's where I'm stuck too. If it was true that they were just as bad as Marinid or Scythen or whatever, then why is there an uptick in these prayers for help? Is it just because there's a new thing that's just as bad as Scythe and Marinid?
These people are in danger. They're in trouble. They're being killed and reborn as something they're not.
And
I agree with you.
Something
I don't
tells
think it's
me-
good either.
something tells me that when the Viper Queen gets to Scythen and Marinid, it won't just be the leaders that she goes for.
So do we think that he's just love-struck? Horny? Both?
Blindsided.
Blindsided.
A war in place of one between cities is still a war. He's trying to justify the means for the ends. But the means are the same. So,
People will always fight. It is unfortunate, but it happens.
Again, what are we going to do? Do we kill him? Because frankly, I feel like he's pretty fucking powerful. Maybe it's just the pants, but...
They were quite padded, yes.
very padded.
could really see everything.
This is a David Bowie Labyrinth situation we're dealing with.
Nothing, tra-la-la.
We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Somehow. we go along with it for the first couple of days, then try to find our window. We can't leave now.
The reason I asked for a place to sleep is because I am almost juiced, and if we're going to do anything, I need to recoup a little bit. Kazimir?
After hearing what Foryuen said, I'm not sure I trust your new friend, Melaena. We knew that she had issues with the other one. I don't know her standing with this one. She seemed much more cooperative.
I know. I just wish I knew what the yellow X's meant. That's the thing that's getting me stuck the most. None of it makes sense. Something tells me that someone is controlling these people with the yellow X's, including the Viper Queen. So we can't know her true intentions when she gets to the cities.
We just know her methods are garbage.
Yeah. I mean, he said that when he met her, she had those yellow X's. Did we ask if? I think he said she'd always had them.
Mm-hmm.
How does he even
I just
know?
remembered.
What?
We could have gone to Apollo's house with the key. Don't mind me.
Don't worry, I thought about it too.
Yeah.
You're not the only one who was like, oh, we could get in the closet and then get in
It's fine.
and use the key. If we need to get away from someone chasing us, we could use the key and disappear for an hour, come back out.
True. So I guess next step is sleep. And then in the morning, listen, we're very, very close to the fabric that covers this city. I'm not saying that I could definitely pull it off, but if we can get that window open and I can fire off a few good shots at it, I might be able to destroy it, and at that point we would probably be better off vis-a-vis running away.
And Melaena, take a gander at the windows.
Yeah.
First, she would like to check for traps, and then would just like to see if she can get them open.
Sure, go ahead and check for traps. And then, how are you trying to get it open?
You said it was like rusted and painted over shut.
Rusted, painted over, shut. And it
locked.
looks like it has like this little like lock mechanism.
All right. So that's a 19 for the checking for traps.
It doesn't look mechanically trapped, but there's definitely some magic sparking around here.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to be able to look at that until morning.
I could check.
Ooh, no, I have a ritual detect magic.
Oh, you do? Cool.
I have I can do detect magic as a ritual if we're all willing to sit for 10 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah, Bastian will sit down in front of this and begin to draw sigils in the air around the lock and do a
I
little
imagine
detect
you're
magic.
just drinking wine. While you're
Oh,
doing this.
100%. Wine in one hand, sigils in the other. Yep.
I love it.
Uh,
That is some good wine. That is like
Oh, he's
super expensive wine you're chugging.
he's nutting. Like it's good as hell.
Book me in for a night.
you want a little bolstering magic, bud?
Yeah.
Okay, you get to add a D3.
I don't think I roll for anything for detect magic, but
Maybe
it's
not.
nice to know.
Oh, well. Okay, well, you can.
Do you still
So
want to give it to
there's
me?
an arcana
You don't have to.
If there's an arcana check somewhere, you use it there.
Yeah, there's
That's
an
true.
Arcana check somewhere, I bet.
So detect magic tells you the school and what it does fundamentally. Right?
Let me read it again. So you sense the presence of magic. You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. Yeah. Spell can penetrate most barriers, but if it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt, then I can't sense it.
So I'm not sure what school of magic it is. However, you do seem to. Let me look it up.
Does it explode things or protect things? If it's explosions.
People.
There's a
Conjuration.
couple things that's happening.
Oh god.
One of them is an abjuration. And it looks like it's the spell alarm.
Ugh.
There is another thing, and it looks like, and I'm not 100% sure what school of magic this is, but it looks like there is like a magical unlocking system, almost like a key card.
What?
I wouldn't be able to pick
Yeah, we're not getting out of here. We ain't getting out of here, folks.
Well, I suppose we could always just break the window. I mean, it is glass.
I could do that very easily.
We know you could, Kazimir.
I'm just trying to be helpful.
It would be very
I
helpful.
love him.
I mean, effectively, setting off an alarm spell, and with a choice between setting off an alarm spell and breaking open a window, honestly, breaking open a window would give us more of a chance of not being noticed.
How high are we?
About 150 feet up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't got a feather fall, do you?
Honestly,
So-
I want to know how much structural damage a falling Kazimir would do.
Oh, probably a lot.
Ooh.
A fucking
That's
crazy.
700 pounds.
Meteor.
700 pounds coming at terminal velocity.
Literally, we're bringing back Looney Tunes. It's a fucking falling grand piano.
Jesus. I just say we rest, we rest, and then figure out what exactly our state is here. If we're prisoners that stay in this tower, or if we're allowed to leave and wander the town.
Right.
Perhaps we can gather resources or allies or something. I don't know.
Now, we will be taking watch.
Of course.
And Melaena, you should sleep, because as long as one of us is on watch, we'll be able to do something if anything weird happens. Kazimir can just sit on you.
Alright.
You'll probably die instantly.
Alright. And alright. Melena's gonna make sure that she doesn't have a single weapon on her before she goes to bed.
There is
This
a
old
wonderful
chestnut.
pile.
Just all my daggers. My daggers, my short bow, my arrows.
There is a pile of weapons in the corner by the vanity.
How many? I don't have that many weapons. Hang on, let me.
Yeah, it's
look.
good
Like,
for the bit.
I love you, but I think all rogues have an additional 15 daggers that no one talks about.
I have
It's just
3
good for the
daggers, a
flavor.
short bow, a short sword, and arrows.
So 18 daggers.
So 18 daggers.
I was gonna say, yeah, all those arrows are just daggers that are.
Oh, and I have a stake. I have a stake, guys.
Why?
Why?
Hey, I don't know if you knew this. We're fighting vampires?
Yeah,
Maybe that could be useful.
it's a part
Or
of my
my-
adventuring gear. Apparently, I have a stake.
Might be useless considering we don't know how the vampires work here.
I think Kaz just like looks at all the weapons and just kind of like gooches it just to the side, just sweeping it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, puts all of that in a pile.
Bastion is.
I'm
Bastian
so
will
scared.
toe off his boots, pull off his pants, leave the poet shirt on, so it just kind of like goes down to like just above mid thigh
You
and
are.
crawls
Are you
into the
Winnie the Poohing
You're a
it?
menace. You're a menace.
full Winnie the Pooh, and is gonna. He like takes time to like pull the covers back, crawl into bed, sort of snuggle down underneath them, pull them up to his chin, and then he looks at the other three who are still standing in the room and goes, "So who wants first watch?"
You little fuck.
Melaena will offer for first watch.
Okay, so what?
Alright.
How? What?
How many?
in what-
How many are we doing per watch? 1, 2.
I think just one. In order to get like a full night's sleep, we probably need to do
Okay.
one
Yeah.
person per watch.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first is Melaena.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take
I'll
last.
go next. Oh my god. I get your beauty sleep uninterrupted.
You know if it's interrupted. You know if I have to get up for watch, I'm cranky in the morning.
You know I am a bitch without my Starbucks.
Yeah.
It just like fucking comes back from their watch, like, hey, get up. They're holding a fucking cappuccino and they're wearing their Uggs. And it's like, get up, bitch.
Wake the fuck up.
It's
I'll
pumpkin
take-
spice season.
Of course.
I'll take the watch before Bastion.
Okay, so
Ragna Bastian.
perfect. All right, Melaena. Everyone snuggles up into bed. Kazimir, I want you to know this is the comfiest motherfucking bed you've been in, and there's extra room. It's weird.
I hate it. I hate it.
Do I need a
As soon as he gets in the what?
Perception?
You can go ahead. What were you saying, Kazimir? What?
As soon as he gets in the bed, he like sits in it and feels like how soft it is, and it's like no, and just gets up and like sits on the floor.
God.
Ragna, do you get into bed?
Yeah. he doesn't get,
So
he
you-
doesn't get as comfortable as Bastion, but he gets in the bed.
I was gonna say, you
Snuggle the
haven't
dog
had
over
like
there.
bad bedding. I mean, your family was moderately well off, so you
Mhm.
had a good bed. This is a good bed though. Like
Right.
you get in, and then I just imagine like the claws just go back into the paws, nice and comfy. Just the mane starts to fluff up as you sing.
Making biscuits.
Making biscuits.
Biscuits.
Oh, God.
biscuits. No, just little biscuits, like just right here at the edge of the.
I just
blanket.
imagine like Ragnar waking up in the middle of the night, just being like, and he like has to like fluff up his pillow. Like,
I love him.
No, just in the middle of the night, Bastian is feeling something on his back, like pushing, and it's just him kneading.
Listen, it's a good massage.
I don't think he'd complain.
I think at
no,
this
but
point
you-
also Xerxes is like has taken to sleeping on Bastion's chest like a cat does, where they like try to fucking like suffocate you in the middle of the night because they kind of slip onto your face.
good.
I
Just a
feel
full
like
plume of
I
feathers.
love that,
Yep.
but also Xerxes likes tall. Xerxes goes to sleep on top of the canopy,
Oh.
and then you just hear a very it's not that distant, but like 30 feet. Burr. From the top of the canopy.
so sweet, little Xerxes.
And you see a couple feathers being flown off the side as he's pruning and
Yeah.
preening. And just
Aw.
a couple feathers.
I got a 10.
Jesus.
Everyone goes to bed,
Yes.
and Melaena is in her head thinking about what could happen.
Yeah.
The door kind of slightly opens, and there's a peek from a very familiar blood nymph. Am I okay to come back now?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's just
Okay.
sleeping.
You're not. Are you? You really don't have to be that self-conscious.
It's not that we're just taking watches.
I brought you something. And she pulls out from her side. It's like a little like little charcuterie board, like just a little mini like meal, just a little thing. Charcuterie board. And she just hands it to Melaena and goes, "You didn't eat, so I thought you were hungry, and I definitely know you were hungry from before." And she just kind of smirks and just winks and goes, "You should probably eat."
Thank you.
He's really not a bad guy. He does not do great things. But I just want to let you know.
We're just confused is all.
I understand. Are you leaving?
We don't know yet.
Could I go with you? Not like that, not to, and like she gets loud and then quiet. Not like that, not to be weird or anything. I mean, unless you want to, but what I mean is I would like to be away from the people who did this. I enjoy my gift, but I don't want it to be held over my head all the time.
Yeah, I get that. Of course.
And even if you just drop me off at the next stop, that's fine. I just would prefer not to be here.
Yeah, I can see why.
He treats us really well. I don't agree with a lot of the things he does. But at least he's never been mean to us. It's a lot more than I could say for the other ones.
Sometimes the most dangerous ones are the ones who do it with a smile.
Good thing you weren't smiling at all. That was a joke.
That's very good.
We didn't laugh, so didn't feel that great.
I don't laugh a lot.
You should. You have a really nice smile.
So do you.
And then she's just gonna kind of sit there with you and just keep watch. Kazimir gets up. There is a blood nymph back in the room. And she hasn't left. But she will go ahead, just say, "I will leave if you want me to. I understand." I don't know what that means.
Go.
Okay. And she'll just sleep. She'll just slip out of the room. I need you to roll me a perception.
Okay.
Melena's gonna get in bed, but like as far away, like edge. Even if like she's balancing on the very edge of the bed.
I know Bastian sprawled out like a motherfucker.
This bitch sleeps diagonally.
Monster.
Ass up in the middle of the
Monster.
night, out of the covers.
A sleeping Bastion is the BBEG. Fun fact.
I love him. I don't think he sleeps pretty.
No,
It's
I
not.
don't think so. I think he has a. I think it's like, it's a sleep that only a partner I think could love.
Even then, they're still gonna go sleep on the couch because
And
they're like,
it's
I want
like-
some of the fucking bed.
It's just he does have like a very small snore,